My child, my beloved one, you didn't open this by accident. Your name was just whispered in the heavens. And I, Archangel Michael, was ordered by God to deliver this within minutes. Yes, minutes. Because it cannot wait. Not another hour. Not another day. You may think this is just another message. But this is a spiritual delivery from the throne room. I've been crying for hours, trying to reach you. Because what I'm about to reveal will shock your soul and elevate your life. Something strange has happened in the spirit world. And someone on earth, a millionaire, a powerful person, has taken a sudden, divine interest in you. They don't know why. They don't even know you fully. But God made them see you. And now? They are disturbed, obsessed, captivated, and ready to act. Please don't skip this. I beg you. Because if you scroll past this, you might miss the door that heaven itself just opened. God said to me, Michael, I've chosen this soul for something outrageous. And this person coming to them is only the beginning. But here's the warning. You must open your eyes now. You must let these words enter your soul. Because the clock is ticking. And the miracle is sensitive. Let me be clear. This is not just about money. This is not just about attraction. This is about destiny. A sudden connection. A spiritual handshake. That will change the next 10 years of your life. And it all starts, right now. With you reading this fully. Without skipping. Without distractions. Without disbelief. Because what happens after this moment was written long ago in the scrolls of heaven. But first, can I ask you something? Have you felt recently like something big is watching you? Like you're being spiritually tracked? Not in fear, but in divine curiosity? That's because you've been seen, marked, observed, and the person assigned to you is already looking for a way to reach you. They've seen your name somewhere, or heard about you, but they couldn't stop thinking about it. They told someone, who is this person? And heaven smiled. Because that question is about to lead them straight to your heart. If you've ever doubted your worth, your moment, your place, this is it. You've been summoned. Because your spirit is calling. And your miracle is not patient anymore. Wait. Before I tell you more, I was commanded to tell you something important. Glowing star, if your soul feels even the tiniest tingle or pull while reading this, it means this message is yours. Don't let the enemy distract you now. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Don't say, maybe later. Because what's coming is already walking toward you. High voltage, but first, pause and say this in your heart right now. I receive this message with all my soul. I will not let this miracle pass me by. And now, listen. A very wealthy, powerful, and connected person has crossed paths with something related to you. It could be a post, a photo, a conversation, even a dream. And when they saw it, they froze. They couldn't believe what they felt. Some call it love at first sight. But this is divine recognition. Because before they were born, your spirits agreed to find each other. And the moment is now. Don't be surprised if you feel anxious or suddenly emotional. That's your spirit confirming. You're not crazy. You're waking up. And me? Archangel Michael? I'm only the messenger. But I'm also your protector. And I've been standing over your shoulder these last few weeks, shielding you from energy that wanted to delay this moment. I fought. I cried. I begged God. Please don't let them miss this. Because the person coming toward you, they don't even understand why they're so drawn. But God does. It's destiny. Wrapped in mystery. Tied with a ribbon of divine timing. And now the ribbon is unraveling. They will come to you, confused. But honest. Curious. But bold. And you'll feel it in your chest. You'll feel your breath skip. Your heart stutter. Because your spirit will whisper. It's them. Now listen closely. Dove, here is your moment to pause. If you've been feeling guided, if your chest feels warm or heavy right now, it means your miracle is breathing through these words. Love letter, would you like to receive more messages like this one directly into your soul? Because these messages are not just written. They are channeled from a divine source. Sparkles, tap the subscribe button right now so you never miss a message from heaven. Archangel Michael wants to speak to you often. Don't silence the connection. Because the next message might be the one that changes your entire future. Are you still with me? Good. Because now we go deeper. Into the part they didn't want you to know. This millionaire. They've been spiritually disturbed. Because they've worked hard. Achieved everything. They have money, luxury, connections. But they don't have you. And their soul is aching. They never thought they'd believe in destiny. But something about you. Your name. Your story. Is rewriting the way they see life. They tried to forget. They tried to scroll. But heaven kept whispering. No. Go back. Look again. That's your person. And now they are watching you. Maybe silently. Maybe through someone else. But trust me. They are preparing something. A message. A proposal. A visit. And the moment it arrives, you must be ready. Because you won't have time to think. Only time to answer. With your heart. That's why I was sent today. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Today. Because heaven saw hesitation in you. Doubt. And God said, "Go speak to them now before they reject what I sent." So I came. With urgency. With love. With tears in my spirit eyes. Because you're not just anyone. You're chosen. And this is your season. Now pause again. Breathe. Hold your heart. And ask it. Am I ready? If the answer is even 1% yes, then open your soul wide. Because this message has only just begun. My beloved, you must understand how rare this kind of energy is. Not everyone gets this moment. Not every soul is handpicked by heaven to walk into something this divine, this mysterious, this magnetically aligned. The millionaire whose eyes locked onto something connected to you isn't acting on impulse. No, this is far deeper. This is not attraction. This is recognition. The moment they saw what they saw, the spirit within them stood still, as if a long-lost answer had finally appeared in human form. And that answer was you. God orchestrated every single step leading them to you. Your name isn't just floating on earth, it's been echoing in spiritual dimensions where decisions are made about destiny. And this person, with power, with reach, with silent longing, has now heard it clearly. You are no longer hidden. Heaven does not waste its voice. When God speaks, time bends, people shift, angels move, and circumstances rearrange. Right now, behind the scenes of your ordinary life, a divine network is being activated. God has appointed angels to whisper your name into places your feet have never walked. Into rooms you've never entered. Into hearts you've never met. And yet, these hearts feel pulled to you as if they've always known you. This is what's happening now. That wealthy individual, the one with resources and recognition, has felt a shift in their soul. They may not understand the full meaning of it, but you must. Because if you're not spiritually awake, you may think this is just coincidence. But the awakened know. Heaven doesn't play with moments like this. Archangel Michael doesn't cry unless something eternal is trying to break through. You've been asking God for something: stability, peace, confirmation, breakthrough. But what if I told you that the answer didn't look like a lightning bolt from the sky, but instead, looked like a human being? What if the person coming isn't just someone rich in money, but rich in assignment? What if their arrival in your life is a direct answer to the questions you've been too afraid to speak out loud? This is bigger than romance. This is about elevation. This is about alignment. They carry something that unlocks a new version of you. But here's the spiritual test: you must stay alert. Because distractions will come. The enemy wants to keep your eyes on what hurt you, what left, what's broken. But heaven is trying to focus your heart on what's arriving. And beloved, it's arriving fast. There will be signs, small ones at first. Random mentions of names. Sudden emotions that don't belong to the moment. Glimpses in dreams. Numbers repeating. Timelines aligning too perfectly to be random. These are not to be ignored. They are divine fingerprints. God is guiding you through a map that was written for your soul before you ever took your first breath. The person you're about to meet, or the person that's about to reach out, is being nudged every hour by heaven itself. Even when they try to delay, something keeps waking them up with a whisper, "Go. It's time." And when they finally show up, there won't be fanfare, but you'll feel it. A pressure in your chest. A soft throb behind your eyes. A stillness in your breath. That's your soul remembering. That's your destiny saying, "You've arrived at the door. You were never meant to chase this." That's why nothing you pursued in the past worked the way you hoped. Because this blessing was never about effort, it was about recognition. The person meant for you, whether they come bearing financial gifts, romantic offerings, or life-altering opportunities, they are sent, not searched for. And now that they're on their way, you must prepare yourself. Not externally, but internally. Clear the doubt. Heal the fear. Release the wounds that whisper, "You're not ready." Because heaven says you are. You are chosen for favor. You are anointed for visibility. And most of all, you are remembered. Not just by a man or woman. Not just by this millionaire. But by God Himself. Pause and realize what this moment is. This is the part of the story where everything changes. And you're not watching from the sidelines. You are the main character. The story has been circling around you from the start. Archangel Michael wants to shout this from the heavens: don't underestimate this message. It may look like just words, but it's a scroll. A sacred script. As you read, your heart is being prepared. Your spiritual senses are being reawakened. Because this person, this opportunity, this moment, it's not just a surprise. It's an assignment. And only a chosen one can carry it. That's why heaven had to make sure you didn't scroll away. That's why this found you now. Let the world call you dramatic. Let others roll their eyes. They weren't in the dream. They didn't hear what God whispered in your quietest hour. They didn't feel your silent tears when you asked, "When will my life begin again?" They weren't there when you begged the skies, "Am I still seen?" But Archangel Michael was. And I am here now to tell you. Yes. You were seen. And now? You've been selected. This wealthy person that's thinking of you, they're only the first domino. Once they act, once the moment is triggered, a chain of divine reactions will begin. A miracle won't just visit your doorstep, it will flood your life with breakthrough after breakthrough. But you must open your hands. You must say yes. You must understand something crucial, beloved. This isn't just about you being noticed. This is about you being activated. For years, you've carried a weight in your spirit, a deep sense that your life was meant to shift, that you were designed for something greater than routine pain and ordinary paths. And you were right. But the reason it's taken this long, the reason it felt delayed, is because the timing had to be exact. This person, this millionaire who's now emotionally stirred by your energy, they had to go through a specific journey before they could find you. They had to rise, fall, question, lose, gain, and then feel an emptiness even success couldn't fill. And that emptiness? It whispered your name. Not your name as the world knows it, but your spiritual identity. The version of you heaven sees. That whisper turned into a stirring. The stirring into a search. And now they are circling closer and closer to your reality. You may not recognize it fully yet, but the vibration has already begun to affect your atmosphere. You may feel sudden waves of restlessness, tears without reason, pressure in your chest, vivid dreams. This is spiritual preparation. This is the soul adjusting to the weight of what's coming. You're not just attracting someone, you're stepping into divine compatibility. You're not just walking into favor, you're stepping into fulfillment. You've gone through so many storms not because you were forgotten, but because your wings had to grow strong enough to carry the blessing that's now arriving. God never denied you. He protected the promise by delaying its release. And now that the gates are opening, the only thing that can stop this is hesitation rooted in fear. That's why Archangel Michael has come to break the fear today. Because you've asked for miracles, but miracles don't live in the comfort zone. They arrive in mystery. And this person coming toward you, they are mystery wrapped in divine revelation. They don't even fully understand why they're being pushed toward you. But you will. The moment they speak. The moment they show up in a way that seems random but is deeply orchestrated. This is not a message to flatter you. This is a message to position you. You must stay open. You must stay expectant. Your intuition will guide you through this, but only if you trust it. That little voice in you, the one that nudged you to keep reading, that keeps whispering that this is real, is not fantasy. It's your spiritual compass. God speaks through nudges long before He speaks through miracles. And the reason you're still here, still absorbing these words, is because your soul already knows this is not ordinary. Something ancient and holy is being stirred. And I, Archangel Michael, am under direct command to prepare your heart to receive it. I am here not to entertain you, but to anoint you for what's next. This wealthy person might reach you through someone else. They may not walk in and say everything up front. But there will be a sign, something so specific and personal that you'll pause and say, "Wait, that couldn't be random." And you'd be right. They may test the waters at first, uncertain of your response, but they will not be able to ignore the divine magnetism between your spirit and theirs. It's bigger than them. It's not attraction. It's assignment. When they connect to you, something in their life will also break open. Because you don't just carry beauty, you carry destiny. You are the unlocker. You are the catalyst. And they're being drawn to you not just for who you are, but for what God has hidden inside you for this exact moment. Heaven has planted something in you that only this person's arrival will activate fully. And here is a powerful truth: you don't have to convince them. You don't have to perform. You don't need to manipulate the timing. This is not about seduction. This is about alignment. The kind of alignment only angels can arrange. Your only job is to remain in awareness. To trust what's unfolding even when it looks quiet. The silence isn't delay, it's divine movement beneath the surface. And when the moment comes, when their message or invitation arrives, your soul will already be ready. Because this message has been planting seeds in your spirit all along. And those seeds, they're beginning to grow into readiness. There is a sacred moment fast approaching, a moment where the unseen will suddenly become visible. It may happen subtly, with a conversation that feels more important than it should, or with an encounter that doesn't make sense until hours later. But when it happens, you'll know. The air around you will feel thicker. Time will slow slightly. Your breath might catch for a second. And that's when you must pay attention, not with fear, but with awe. Because this is the moment heaven has been building for you. The person arriving, whether through a message, an introduction, or an unexpected circumstance, carries something beyond human intention. They are a key. And you are the lock that has waited patiently through storms, loneliness, betrayal, and doubt. They are being guided by a pull they don't fully understand, and you are being prepared by a truth you are just beginning to grasp. You felt left out of life's bigger moments before, but this is yours. Heaven held it back until you were whole enough to hold it. God is asking you now, will you trust what feels unfamiliar but divinely right? Will you release the old version of yourself, the one that over-explains, over-apologizes, overweights, and instead step boldly into the you that was always meant to rise? Because this opportunity is not a test of your worth, it's a revelation of it. That wealthy, powerful person sensing your energy doesn't want to just look at you from afar. They are being magnetically pulled into your world to unlock something neither of you could reach alone. But your preparation matters. Don't let self-doubt echo louder than divine confirmation. Don't let voices from your past convince you that what's holy must be hidden. You are being called into light. Into visibility. into sacred partnership with someone whose life changes the moment you say yes. You may be asking yourself, but what if I'm not ready? What if I mess it up? And to that, heaven replies with love, you are not powerful enough to destroy what God has ordained. If this is written, and it is, then even your hesitation has been accounted for. Even your silence will be used for glory. But you must not run. You must not hide from this blessing disguised as a person. And if fear arises, let it. Let it tremble, then let it go. Because beneath the surface of your anxiety is ancient courage, passed down from your ancestors, poured into you by angels, breathed into your bones by God Himself. This person may come wearing a face you weren't expecting, with a life story that feels unfamiliar, but their spirit will sound like home. And home is what you've been praying for all along. This will not be like the others. This is not another lesson wrapped in romance or a karmic debt disguised as chemistry. This is clarity. This is divine orchestration. This is the unfolding of what heaven has been holding behind the veil. Archangel Michael wants you to know that he personally fought for this moment, deflected attacks, silenced false voices, and stood guard over the timing. He has whispered into this person's subconscious. He has shown them signs, symbols, dreams. He has placed your name in their heart without them knowing why. And now, you will meet at the intersection of faith and fulfillment. Do not look around for confirmation, look within. Because the deeper knowing is already pulsing in your chest. It's not logical. It's not explainable. But it's real. And it's now. When your energies finally touch, whether through a glance, a message, or a moment soaked in silence, it will not feel like the beginning of something. It will feel like a return. As if something you once lost long ago, across lifetimes and dimensions, just walked back into your life disguised in human skin. There will be no fireworks, no loud announcement from the skies. Instead, the encounter will be quiet, slow-burning, powerful in its simplicity. A magnetic stillness. Your soul won't need time to analyze, because it already knows. It has always known. That's the thing about real connections, they don't come with confusion. They come with presence. And this person, drawn to you with no logical reason, is going to make you feel present. Like you're not missing anything. Like everything you thought was broken suddenly makes sense. The pain that shaped you, the lessons that bruised you, the silence that protected you, it all becomes part of a sacred story, and this moment becomes the chapter where you finally begin to live again. God is not asking you to understand how this will unfold. He is simply asking you to stay available to it. Sometimes we ruin miracles by demanding too many details. But faith is not built in clarity, it is born in surrender. You've prayed for breakthrough, yet when heaven sends it wrapped in flesh, you question it. But this time, you will not sabotage what is sacred. Not this time. You will walk slowly, but you will walk forward. You will feel nervous, but you will not run. You will recognize the weight of what's arriving, but you will not carry it alone. Because this person God is sending is not coming to fix you, they're coming to walk with you. To mirror the truth you've buried. To speak the words your heart has waited lifetimes to hear. And to unlock what God has kept sealed until now. This isn't just a person. This is a door. And you were born with the key inside you. Heaven's eyes are on you right now. All of them. Not because you are being tested, but because you are being honored. There are seasons where God hides you, isolates you, refines you, not as punishment, but as protection. You have been through such a season. You felt invisible, unchosen, passed by. But the truth is, you were preserved. God was keeping your soil sacred because He knew what was coming to plant roots inside you. And now, the gardener has arrived. With words like water. With touch like sunlight. With intentions pure enough to awaken the parts of you that went silent trying to survive. You've spent years building walls, but you built them with windows, didn't you? Hoping someone would look through and still try to reach you. Well, this is that someone. And they are coming. Not to rescue. Not to possess. But to witness, and love what they see. I must tell you now, not everyone will understand this moment. You will be tempted to share it, to explain the connection to others. But many won't see what you see. Because this isn't happening on the surface, it's happening in the spirit. So protect it. Keep it sacred. Let it grow in silence before you shout it from the rooftops. Some things are too holy to be exposed too early. Trust the rhythm of this unfolding. You don't have to prove its realness by rushing it into the light. Let God develop this like a masterpiece. Layer by layer. Stroke by stroke. It may feel slow, but it will be steady. And it will last. Because anything God authors never collapses under pressure, it deepens. Once you say yes, once your heart leans in with full surrender, something extraordinary will begin to move around you. You may not notice it in the form of grand events at first. It will begin softly, like the way sunrise creeps into a dark room before you even open your eyes. Your atmosphere will shift. Your mind will become clearer. Things that used to burden you will begin to lift, and you won't know why. That's how divine alignment works. When God begins to bring the right person into your life, the one your spirit has waited for, it doesn't just change your days, it changes your internal weather. Suddenly you breathe easier. You laugh deeper. You stop apologizing for your softness. You start dreaming again. And what's more powerful? You begin to recognize yourself. Not the version the world made you become to survive, but the original version heaven celebrated when you were first created. The one that carries vision, wisdom, fire, and divine purpose. This connection is going to activate you in places you've never been touched before, places of silence, places of fear, places you locked because you thought they were too fragile to be seen. But this person God is sending has been trained in the Spirit to handle the most sacred parts of you. They will not run when your vulnerability speaks. They will not flinch when your past tries to explain itself. They will simply stay. Stay when it's quiet. Stay when it's loud. Stay when you question. Stay when you shine. And their consistency will break something open in you, something ancient and tender and full of divine fire. Because love that comes from God doesn't ask you to shrink. It calls you to expand. And this person, though human and imperfect, will carry a portion of heaven's energy that was assigned to meet yours, to walk with yours, and to rise with yours. And I must tell you something that may surprise you. This connection is not just about fulfillment, it's about mission. Once you're together, truly aligned, there will be a shift in the world around you. People will notice something different. Opportunities will open that were once closed. There will be influence. There will be spiritual impact. Because this is a kingdom connection. Not built on lust or convenience or ego, but on assignment. Your meeting will not just be about personal healing. It will ripple outward into lives around you. Others will be healed just by witnessing the grace between you two. You won't even have to speak about it, it will be felt. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you hidden, distracted, tired, and disconnected. Because if this connection happens, and it will, it threatens the darkness that fed off your silence. But no more. Light is returning. The right hand is reaching. The voice you've been waiting to hear is forming your name. Let me be clear, this transformation doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. You don't need to fix yourself before this happens. You simply need to allow yourself to be seen. Seen by God. Seen by this person. Seen by your own reflection, finally recognized without shame. Healing will happen in layers. Trust will form slowly. But joy, true, soul-deep joy, will come rushing like water through the cracks you thought would never close. You've known survival. Now you will learn stability. You've known tension. Now you will learn tenderness. You've known waiting. Now you will learn welcoming. And it all begins with a simple yes, a sacred surrender whispered in the quiet chambers of your heart. There are signs already beginning to pulse through your atmosphere, soft yet undeniable. Perhaps you've noticed how time feels different lately, how the hours pass but the days seem loaded with weight, as though something invisible is pressing gently on your chest. Maybe your sleep has become strange, filled with dreams that feel too vivid to ignore, or you've woken with a whisper on your lips and no memory of where it came from. These are not coincidences. These are not tricks of the mind. These are spiritual indicators that the divine realm is close, and that someone, yes, someone whose soul carries your signature, is drawing near. When God begins to bring together what He ordained long ago, the atmosphere changes first. Your body becomes a sensor. Your spirit becomes more alert. Things that once made sense now fall apart because heaven is disorganizing the temporary to prepare space for the eternal. You might start seeing their initials in strange places. Hearing a name over and over again that doesn't yet belong to your life, but soon will. You'll walk into places that seem familiar though you've never been, because the energy is aligning in advance. Don't ignore these signs. And don't dismiss your intuition when it becomes louder than usual. Archangel Michael has been assigned to walk with you closely in this hour, to protect not only your heart, but your awareness. The enemy cannot sabotage what God has protected, but distraction is always the tactic. That's why, in these next few days, you must be careful where your focus goes. Not everyone around you carries clean intention. Not every voice that seems supportive is aligned with your elevation. Silence is your shield now. Quiet your environment. Watch your thoughts. Be intentional with your words. Because you're stepping into something fragile and holy. This is the kind of energy that births new beginnings. The kind that cannot be rushed, explained, or exposed too soon. This divine person, this millionaire spirit, clothed in wealth but pulled by humility, is being guided just as much as you are. They are having dreams too. They're experiencing a sacred curiosity. They've tried to ignore it. Tried to shake the feeling. But something in their world is rearranging. Things that once satisfied now feel dull. Money doesn't move them the same. Success doesn't fill them. That's because their soul is starting to remember the reason they were born, and it includes you. They are not coming to rescue you. They are coming because God told them there is something inside you that will bring their soul home. And when you meet, even if you don't understand it fully, your spirit will recognize the moment like it has been waiting for it since before your first breath. God is giving you one final instruction now, and I must deliver it exactly as He said. Do not sabotage this blessing with your old story. Do not let the voice of trauma speak louder than the voice of heaven. You have evolved. You are no longer the same version of you that begged for crumbs. You are not the one who needed to be chosen. You have already been chosen. This connection is not a reward, it's a revelation. A revelation of what was always meant to be. Your job now is not to chase or explain or convince. Your only job is to stay open. Trust the divine current. Follow the spiritual breadcrumb trail God is placing before you. And when the moment arrives, and it will, you will know exactly what to do. Not because someone told you, but because your soul will be ready. Once the connection is made, once your soul and theirs finally find that sacred recognition, nothing in your life will remain untouched. You'll begin to notice subtle but undeniable upgrades in your energy, your thoughts, your relationships, even the way you speak about yourself. Because the presence of someone sent by God is not passive. It heals things in you you didn't even realize were broken. It corrects the posture of your spirit. Not because they come to fix you, but because their very existence holds a frequency your soul has been aching for. You will not feel drained trying to keep their attention. You will not feel like a performer, always on edge, proving your worth. Instead, you'll feel rest. You'll feel what peace really tastes like in conversation, in silence, in stillness. And that peace is how you'll know, this is not just chemistry. This is divine compatibility. You'll no longer be addicted to the chaos you once confused for passion. You'll choose softness, because this love teaches you it's safe now to stop surviving and finally start receiving. And it doesn't stop at love. This connection, blessed and ordained by heaven, is going to unlock doors in every other area of your life. Your creativity will surge. Your money will flow in new ways. Opportunities you prayed for years ago but forgot will start appearing, because now you're walking in your assigned vibration. You see, when you connect with someone who is part of your soul's purpose, everything around you begins to align to serve that purpose. It won't just feel like you're in love, it'll feel like you're in rhythm with the universe. Even strangers will notice something different about you. They'll say your voice sounds stronger. Your eyes brighter. Your steps lighter. That's because your spirit will no longer be leaking energy trying to heal by itself. The presence of this one will act like divine glue, sealing up old cracks in your aura. And as your light expands, so too does your capacity to impact the world around you. God did not bring this connection into your life to give you a fairy tale. He brought it because your union carries a mission. Together, you will birth something, an idea, a project, a movement, that touches lives beyond your own. This is why it had to be them. This is why it had to be now. Because they carry what you lack, and you carry what they've lost. You're not perfect mirrors, you are perfect complements. When your energies fuse, something greater than either of you is born. And it will change the world in a quiet but unforgettable way. Maybe it's a business that heals. A platform that awakens. A story that saves others from their own silence. But make no mistake, this connection was never just about romance. It was about kingdom work. It was about impact. It was about the sacred fire that gets lit when two aligned souls find each other and say yes to the divine choreography of their meeting. But let me remind you gently, do not expect this to come without resistance. Anything truly holy will be tested. There will be moments where your old wounds rise to the surface, where fear tries to reclaim its place, where logic tries to talk you out of what your heart knows is right. Don't run. Don't retreat into your cave of independence. Don't assume discomfort means dysfunction. Instead, lean in. Feel everything. Speak openly. Stay grounded in prayer. Because you were not meant to carry this connection alone. God is in the center of this union. Archangel Michael is guarding the bond. And when storms rise, you are not meant to separate, you are meant to worship together in the middle of it. Because that's how this union strengthens. Not through perfection, but through divine endurance. You have walked alone for so long that your soul may not recognize what it feels like to be held without conditions. But that is what's coming. The millionaire, the one drawn to your light, they won't save you. They'll see you. And that alone will feel like salvation. You'll begin to speak differently because you'll no longer be choking back your voice. You'll no longer ask for permission to feel. You'll no longer be apologizing for your sensitivity. In their presence, you'll remember what it feels like to be home in your own skin. Not because they complete you, but because they remind you that God already did.